Update. Am I the a-hole for not letting my mother's husband come to my wedding? Original post. I, 29 female, have been with my partner, 32 male, for 7 years. We have been back and forth whether we want a big wedding or if we just elope. We have decided to have a wedding, as we are both only children, so it's our parents' only chance to see their kids get married. One of the big reasons we wanted to elope was both our families are broken and not everyone gets along. It's our day, and we really didn't want the drama that our families might bring. I sent out the invites about 2 months ago, and my mother called me as soon as she got it to let me know I made a mistake, as her invite only had her name and a note saying strictly no +1. She flipped her lid that her husband wasn't invited, as they have been married for almost 25 years. A bit of backstory. I am an only child and he doesn't have kids. They got together when I was around 3 years old. When I was 8 years old, he started abusing me. This went on until I left home at 15 to live with my great-aunt. While I didn't tell anyone at the time due to fear of him, I have since told my great-aunt. She has been super supportive and helped me seek help for this. When my mother was made aware of this, she instantly defended him and took his word that he never touched me. While I wasn't surprised by this, appearances mean a lot to her. It hurt me deeply. We had a rocky relationship for a few years after because of this. She has made it clear that she is sticking by him and will defend him if I ever took it further. Despite this, we have come a long way to repair the relationship we once had, and I want my mother at my wedding. For the past month, I have been getting calls left, right, and center from other family members, telling me how rude it is that I haven't invited the man who raised me and that he is very upset he can't walk me down the aisle. I don't know what to say to them other than it's a small wedding and we only have limited spots. I don't want to tell anyone the real reason as it will overshadow the wedding, and that's all they will be thinking about. They are making me feel guilty and like I've done the wrong thing. They all think I should have invited him. I can understand from their point of view, it would be strange as they don't know about anything. My fiancé and great-aunt fully support me not wanting him there, but I still feel like an a-hole for not inviting him. Am I? Now for the top comments before reading the update. Obviously, if people are approaching you about it, your mother's been complaining. I would just let her know she can either come or stay home because her husband wasn't invited. Those are her choices. But if she keeps dragging other family into it, you will be forced to tell them exactly why you didn't invite him. Just tell her I better not be hearing from any more family members about it or we're gonna have a big problem, and I'll start explaining why. Exactly this. I will also add, it is your and fiancé's day. Period. You are the only ones who have any and all say with anything to do with your wedding and how you want to start your next chapter together. Not the a-hole and not overreacting. If it was me, I would probably start thinking about making the guest list even smaller, or even just elope and do something for the two of you. Don't live your life for others, because in the end, you are the only one who is guaranteed to spend every minute of your life by your side. I'm glad you have found a good support system and very proud of you for seeking help. Not the a-hole. I'd just tell the family that are pressuring you what you said here, that you can't imagine your abuser being a part of the happiest day of your life, as you can now openly speak about it and are strong. Also for your mom, just tell her the age-old rule. It's an invite, not a summons. She doesn't have to go if she doesn't want to, but that he will not be allowed in. And if she does show up with him, that will be the end of your relationship. If the venue has a wedding planning team or security, that if he tries to show up, he will not be allowed in and escorted off the property. Not the a-hole. You don't even owe your mother an invitation, given how she refuses to believe you. If my mother treated me that way, I'd never speak to her again. You can cut her off completely. You don't need that kind of relationship in your life. My mother was molested by an uncle as a child. She didn't tell anyone until her mid-20s, when I was 2 or so. When she told her parents, they defended her and supported her. That's what good parents do. Now for the first update. Absolutely devastated. After reading so many comments about her bad behavior and so many people saying they would be no contact and wouldn't have her at the wedding, I really took that all on board and called her. I asked her to really think about it. Think about what he did to me, how it made me feel, and ask why she thought I would want him at my wedding. I told her at this point, I don't want her to attend. and told her to stop calling people and complaining about it. I told her if I get more calls or texts, or if she causes any more drama about being uninvited, I would tell the whole family what he did to me for 7 years under her roof and how she didn't do a thing to stop him or protect me. She instantly got defensive and lost her mind at me over the phone. I told her I'm not getting into it over the phone and she needs to respect my wishes. Now overnight, I've had almost 20 family members message me telling me they are no longer attending my wedding and that I am disgusting and a vile mentally ill girl for making up such nasty and revolting lies about mom's husband. I called my aunt, mother's sister, and when she finally agreed to talk to me, she told me my mother called her last night in tears. She was apparently beside herself. The short version was, basically, I was jealous of him and how much attention my mother gave him. I was set on ruining him as a person and was going to make up lies about him abusing me just to get my own way. I was gobsmacked. I literally sat on the phone in shock for a few minutes while she continued to tell me what my mother said. She apparently also told her the reason I left home so young was because I hated mom's husband making me do my chores. She even told her that at 15, just before I left, that I tried to seduce him to persuade him into giving me a car, and that he turned me down, which made me angry. That's why I left. I told my aunt that was simply not true. It was so far from the truth. I asked her to call and talk to my great aunt, and she can tell her what really happened. When I told her about the abuse, my aunt said she is now confused and doesn't know who to believe. I am gutted and completely embarrassed. If this is what she has told my aunt, what has she told everyone else? How do I face this? I feel like that vulnerable little girl all over again. My fiancé is a little overwhelmed with how everything is unfolding, but still been really supportive. We have decided to cancel the wedding despite having paid deposits for almost everything and elope with just his immediate family, my great aunt, and a few close friends. You need to send one message to everyone who has declined and tell them that your mother threatened to smear you if you revealed what her husband did to you, and you can see that she did. Tell them you are sorry they were so gullible that they would believe her without talking to your great aunt who took you in, then block them all. Don't forget to remind the ones who have young children to keep an eye on that POS so their little girls aren't his next victims. When you send a message or email to cancel, write why you are canceling. Lay out the abuse and what happened when you confronted your mom about her husband not going to your wedding. You can say anyone who has doubts can contact your great aunt who has known truth for years. But ultimately, it's up to them to decide who to believe. Anyone who doesn't believe you doesn't need to be in your life anymore. I'm sorry you're having to go through this. It sounds like you are better off removing these toxic people from your life. The greatest insult to abusers is to forget about them and live your life happily. And tell that since the statute of limitations has not run out of child sexual abuse, that you have decided to contact the police. Whether you decide to contact the police or not, I guarantee this will shut her up forever and ever. Do it anyways. Get a text from her where you accuse her of knowing for years and ask why she did nothing. Actually, no. Start off by contacting RAIN and other groups and start getting advice and legal representation. If you want, you can ask for money for lawyer fees in lieu of wedding gifts when you announce what you did instead. Second update. Crap has hit the fan big time. I've had a few family members reach out to me, and turns out he assaulted 2 of my older cousins before me, and one since. As awful as it sounds, and I know it sounds awful and I don't mean it that way, but I'm glad I'm not alone. Now it's not just me trying to tell my family. Our experiences are all pretty similar. We were all too scared to come forward and say anything because he threatened to hurt us and our families. We all thought we were the only one. He always said we were his special one. I know how silly it sounds now, but as a kid living with it, you believe. And as you grow up, you hope he isn't hurting others. We are in the process of talking to everyone in the family to see if he hurt anyone else. Once the family heard about the other girls coming forward, everything became clear to them. They realized my mother was lying to protect him and have rallied around us all. They have all been so apologetic for believing my mother and not seeing it sooner. My mom's husband, on the other hand, showed up at my house. I have no clue how he got my address as mother doesn't even have it. He was trying to talk/threaten me into staying quiet and not go to the police. I obviously didn't answer the door and asked him to leave. I called my partner to come home quickly, and I also called the police. He broke into my house while I was on the phone to the dispatcher and started yelling at me, hitting me, and trying to choke me. Thankfully, help arrived within about 10 minutes, and the self-defense classes I've taken helped a little bit. As scary as it all was, I feel like it's finally over. If that makes sense, he is being charged and still in lockup for breaking and entering, and assault. The four of us girls all made statements about the abuse, and the police are opening an investigation. What a roller coaster this week has been. Honestly, I didn't think it was possible to feel everything I'm feeling. At the start of the week, we were having a wedding, and no one really knew about the abuse. To wedding canceled and everything, thinking I'm making things up. To everything unfolding with mom's husband and my cousins. And now we have decided to go ahead with the wedding, but change it to be more about us and for us, not our families. Obviously, I know we still have a long road ahead of us, but for now it's over. Time to focus on the wedding and the people who matter most. Thank you to everyone who has left comments and advice. It's been so appreciated. I hope her mother rots in the deepest depths of hell. She deserves nothing less. It is terrifying the women who act this way. When I was in high school, my sister's friend finally spoke up about stepfather's abuse. Her mother then kicked her out, called her a liar, disowned her, and stayed with the POS. Even when years later other girls in the family spoke up, they were all liars. I just don't get it. I mean, thankfully I was never harmed, but one of my stepfathers had assaulted a sibling of his, and my mom stuck by him. I don't get it. That would be a major deal breaker for me. My mother did the same thing, stayed by her husband's side and shouted at me how I'm a liar and to get out of her face. I was never a troubled kid or lied. No reason for her not to believe me. But so many kids go through this and their parents choosing their partners. What a shame. I'm so sorry you went through this. I hope he is locked away so he cannot hurt another child. He's not. Police didn't care. People were more shocked I told about the assault than him doing it. But I'm in therapy and slowly healing. And thank you. I wish we knew if he were in prison and her mother shunned by the entire family. I hope OP a truly fabulous life. Oh, he's going to prison, breaking and entering, for the purpose of committing an assault? Gets you to big time pretty much anywhere. Depending on the jurisdiction, the choking is a substantially aggravating factor. Last story. Am I the a-hole for not helping my dad's pregnant girlfriend and telling her to get lost when she asked? My mom died 14 months ago, and things been tough since. I, 16, female, always had a great relationship with my dad before. But lately it's been pretty awful. 4 months ago, my dad brought this woman home, told me she was his girlfriend and that she was pregnant and moving in with us. This was 9 months after my mom died. I didn't really know what to say at first. He was scrambling to say stuff, but I don't really remember what he said. But when I did speak, I was bitter and I told him. I guess he found a great way to tell me he never loved my mom and was over her. I said that because he had always talked about people moving on within like 2 years of their husband or wife dying, as never really loving them, and got over them super fast. He'd say that loving someone and being ready to move on would take a much longer time. He said he saw it in family and family friends who'd been through the loss. He said the people who moved on super fast were disrespectful, especially when they had kids who had lost a parent and needed to be supported and their parents' memory preserved. So I took it really hard when Dad was admitting he'd knocked someone up 7 months after my mom died. They'd started screwing each other 5 months after Mom died, which is something I hate thinking about, but he admitted it. His girlfriend got extremely mad when I was saying that stuff to Dad about him not loving Mom. She took offense that I was focusing on that, instead of on the news of a baby and greeting her. I ignored her and kept telling my dad what I thought, and she lost it and said I should be excited about the baby. She said Mom was dead and Dad had a right to a life after her. She said the baby didn't deserve this treatment. She moved in that day and Dad spent days trying to make me okay and to apologize for it all happening so fast. His girlfriend didn't want me there and said I needed to leave if I wouldn't welcome her and celebrate the baby. Dad said no, but I told him I wanted to go. He tried to fight it, but I asked him if he ever wanted a relationship with me, because if he did, It would not happen if I was forced to live with her. I moved in with my grandparents. Dad comes to see me multiple times a week. He's talked me into going to the house for dinner a couple of times, but me and his girlfriend do not like each other. She's extra bitter that Dad's so focused on making our relationship work instead of on her and the baby. The last time I saw her was a month ago, and she told me I was disgusting for not getting over myself and warming up to the baby who's coming whether I like it or not. She was also angry that I wouldn't pick something up for her when she dropped it. Last Tuesday, I got a text from her. Don't have her number, but she said who she was, telling me she needed me to go over there now because she left her key in the house and got locked outside, and she was in pain and having some bleeding and was supposed to rest. I still have a key to the house and Dad was still at work. I replied F off, and I didn't go to help her. I blocked her number too. After that, she used Dad's phone to leave a voicemail yelling at me and calling me names for leaving her outside when she's 7 months pregnant. I ignored it, and Dad told me she just waited in the car until he got home. But she texted me in the middle of the night from Dad's phone calling me a POS. My dad knows about it, and he apologized. He's still trying to make this all okay with me, but he also hopes we can all get along and be a family. Am I the a-hole? Now for the comments. Not the a-hole. She has verbally attacked you from day one. You were right to move out. You were right to block her. And frankly, I realized Dad's way of getting over his grief was, checks notes, screwing a younger woman within a few months of your mom's death, knocking her up, tolerating her belligerent treatment of his grieving daughter, moving her in, and losing his daughter. It wasn't your job to help someone who has been horrifically rude to you. He sucks. She's not much younger than him, but yeah, he started sleeping with her 5 months after Mom died, even after he said all that stuff. The fact that he just moved her in like that too still frustrates me. He better get used to us having a relationship outside of her if he's serious, because I want nothing to do with that woman. Tell your dad to have a DNA test done, not the a-hole. My thoughts exactly. OP, is your dad even 100% sure that the baby is his? All this extra could be for nothing. And make sure to say it in front of her.